Yay! It's Sunday. We usually don't do shows on Sunday, but we were going to have another show at 11 o'clock this morning, but somebody had to rush their cat to the vet. So we didn't have that. And that was on Anthems Against Abuse. And there are real good calls going on. Brittany and Rosie are doing a fabulous job with it. And hopefully we're going to get them rescheduled pretty soon. So that'll be awesome as I'll get out. And, but we got a 1 o'clock show and kind of excited about it. This lady's got multi-award winning, multi-genre singer, songwriter, and recording artist. Her first album, y'all, got, well, basically 5 music awards is what she got off that first album. So it's going to be cool as I'll get out. Everybody please say hi to Lady Miranda.
Hi.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm tired.
I know the feeling.
Well, I mean, we've got so much going on for CMA Fest, which is next week. Getting prepped for it, and after this show, your show, we're going to be tearing down and packing equipment up and take it all down there and all kinds of stuff.
Goodness. Yeah, and I understand that my travel season starts in August, and I'm usually gone for most of the year after that.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Well, that's what was weird because our first show was supposed to, Brittany actually just come in from Texas last night because she was out on tour. And then her cat got sick.
Oh, no.
So she had to run into the vet this morning. And I was like, oh, my God, take care of the baby.
Right? I hope her cat's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. It just, maybe it missed mommy. Who knows?
Yeah, my baby's lying on the floor next to me because I'm washing her blankets and she's not excited about it.
Well, I can imagine. We got 2 cats running around here. That's my daughter's, and the main cat is in my bed right now. Just chilled out, relaxed. As soon as we get done, it's going to get picked up and thrown out.
Poor cat.
I'm not a big, I don't know. They're weird.
I don't have a cat. I have a dog. But I hear things.
Oh yeah. Well, see, that's just what's weird because I'm a dog person myself.
Yeah.
I've been a dog person all my life. Cats are just annoying and look at you like they're plotting your death.
Yeah, that's funny. I do hear that about cats a lot.
Yeah. But what's weird is whenever you're at the stove cooking, it doesn't matter dog or cat. They're right there waiting on anything.
Oh, see, I don't have that problem. I'm lucky.
You're very lucky. Dogs are just nosy. Dogs will nose you and paw at you, but cats, they'll latch the claws in and climb up your leg.
Yeah, so my dog will paw at me, but I think she doesn't understand how pawing works because she won't just tap me with her paw. She will actually like claw onto me.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know that her claws are that big, and I'm like, ow.
Oh, yeah.
And she's not a small dog either.
Oh, a buddy of mine got one of them labradoodles, I think it is. And the paw on that freaking dog is huge. It's amazing.
I can imagine. We were at the dog park yesterday, and I don't know what kind of husky this was. I'm thinking it was a husky because it looked like one, but it was a very large dog.
Mm-hmm.
Probably twice the size of mine.
Yeah. That's crazy. So how's it going? You're in Washington State, right?
I am in Washington, and our weather is not sure what it wants to do around here lately.
Oh, join the club. That's the way it's been here. I'm in Tennessee, so
Oh, I love Tennessee. I've gone to Tennessee multiple times.
yeah. I was born and raised in Nashville. I'm one of them. What people around here call me a unicorn. I don't think I'd look good with a horn sticking out of my head, but okay.
I haven't met anyone who would look good with a horn sticking out of their head, but if I ever do, I'll let you know.
Yeah, it's a unicorn. That's about it. That's the only thing that'll look good. Unicorn.
That's funny. My very first music video was actually filmed in Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah. Not in Nashville, but not far from it. Oh, gosh, I can't remember the name of the town. We were in this little residential area, and the video itself is a very dark, kind of serious video, but we were laughing so hard because we were making jokes about how the neighbors were going to call the cops because we kept driving back and forth down the street.
Oh yeah. It's got to be just right for the music video. Get over it.
It does. And we were doing a scene. Okay, it's going to sound very strange without any context, but we were doing a kidnapping scene. And the kidnapper was supposed to jump out of the back of the vehicle and nab the guy. And we had to redo the scene multiple times. The first time we apparently had the child locks on and didn't know. The car comes to a screeching halt, and the guy in the back is like, I can't get out. Do you guys have the child locks on? We cracked up so hard. So then every time after that, right when we were about to come screeching to a halt, we're like, make sure the door is unlocked. Make sure the door is unlocked. And we're like, oh my God, the neighbors, it's broad daylight. And then we're like, the neighbors are going to call the cops. They're going to think we're doing something crazy. We're like, yeah, we'd be the worst criminals ever trying to kidnap someone multiple times in broad daylight and keep letting him go.
I bet that is something that has actually got to be looked at on any movie out there where somebody's jumping out.
I wish I had a blooper reel for that video.
That would have been funny if you had somebody just videoing the bloopers.
That would have been the best blooper reel. I was really concerned about how I would feel making that music video, but we had so many bloopers. I think I laughed almost the whole time, which was really good considering the context of the video. And so, but yeah, that was out in Tennessee in October of 2019. Yeah, 2019.
Sweet. What was the song?
Well, Reckless.
Reckless?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I released as a single. It wasn't on one of my albums.
Yeah. How many albums you got out now?
3. I'm working on number 4. So my producer is moving his studio not very far, but he's moving in the process of moving his studio. We're going to have a bigger studio. And so we'll be going back into studio probably mid-June to work on the 4th album.
Sweet. At least he didn't call you and say, hey, help me move all this stuff.
Because he's probably like, nobody touch the equipment.
Yeah, the only two that's allowed to touch all the equipment around here, tear down and set up and all that other stuff is me and Caitlin. So
I think we'd be asking him, where do you want this too many times? He'd probably be like, just let me do it.
Yeah, where do we put the harmonic processor at,
My only request was, can I please have a little more space in the booth so I can move my hands?
Yeah. And it's amazing, though, that a lot of artists, when they get in front of that mic to cut a song or sing the vocals or whatever, a lot of people stiffen up for some reason. I don't understand it. My big thing is I've always wanted a vocal booth bigger. Portray what you're singing, feel it, because it sounds so much better.
Yeah, I can sing better if I can move my hands, but the problem in the booth that we had now is it's pretty small, and there's a stand in there where I can set my tablet for my lyrics if I need them, but I'm always afraid I'm going to smack it and the microphone will pick that up.
Yeah.
And so, so I'm just like, can I please have more space so I can move my hands?
Well, that's what's weird about like a lot of writers' rounds and stuff that's down here in Nashville. They've got it. They got stands and everything that have the attachments for your tablets or your phones or whatever. And these artists are just like, you see them playing and singing and then they'll scroll and keep going. And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, you know, I have a stand like that, but to be honest, it's more of a distraction.
Yeah.
So, I might have my lyrics there, but I really don't bother looking at them if I can help it because it's more of a distraction than anything, and I'd more likely to lose my place.
Yeah.
So I really work hard to get things memorized, not while I'm in the studio so much, but like if I'm gonna perform a song or whatever, to have things memorized so that way on stage I'm not having to deal with that. It's more of a security blanket than anything else.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. See, I'm one of them weird guys. If I'm at a writer's round or something and I've actually got that artist's phone number and they're doing that, I'll text them.
Oh, that's really funny.
You get that corner eye shot every now and then from an artist, and they're like, "You asshole."
See, I purposely don't connect my tablet to a number because I don't want all the notifications on.
Yeah, exactly. Because you never know when somebody's
You wouldn't be able to get me that way, David.
You never know. I mean, I could send a picture of the Australian men from down under or whatever and send it to you when you're on stage. Be like, whoa.
No, that'd be pretty hilarious. But yeah, I really hardly look at the thing. I think I mostly pull it up anytime I'm doing, because I am multi-genre, and one of my genres is rap, and so I like to have it there for rap lyrics because those are harder to memorize sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Especially when the cadence is different from the beat of the rest of the song.
Right.
Because I like to stick them in the middle of songs that are not rap songs.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of become one of my signature moves is, oh, we're doing a rock song. Great. Let's plop some rap lyrics right in the middle.
Sure. Let's just play with it a little bit.
I've done it a couple of times, and it works out really well the way we do it.
Sweet. Dawn Ricks just left a comment. She said, "Hey, love Miranda."
Who was that?
Dawn Ricks.
Oh, Dawn. Hi, Dawn. Yeah, I love Dawn.
Yeah, we've got the comments turned on so people can actually, if they leave a comment on Facebook or on YouTube, it'll come right to us.
Well, hopefully I'll be seeing Dawn and a lot of other people in August down in Atlanta. I made a mistake of buying a dress that I can't put myself in this year.
Well, just wing it is what I do.
Oh, I already enlisted help. I know exactly who to ask. I was like, you have experience with this, right? She's like, sure, what you got? And I'm like, a dress I can't lace up myself.
Yeah, you got to have extra hands every now and then.
Yeah, it's a beautiful dress, though.
Awesome. Is that the ISO Awards?
The ISSA Awards, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. My dog is actually a trained service dog, so she normally goes with me. And I have photos of her at our very first award show with a dress on, and I normally try to match her to me. So we'll see what I come up with this year.
Wouldn't it be cool as all get out if she won Service Dog of the Year award? And
I don't think they've come up with that one yet, but I keep saying they should let her win the best dressed award.
There you go. You could do that too. That would be awesome. You never know with people.
Yeah, but they have a lot of fun seeing her there. I think she's more well known than I will ever be.
It's amazing how that stuff works. It's crazy.
Yep. I'll go out and people are like, "Oh, how's Elsie?" And I'm like, "Why are you asking about my dog? I'm right here."
Yeah. Did have they? I don't know. Have they posted any of the nominees yet for awards?
Yeah, all the finalists have been named already for this year for ISSA.
I know Josie Awards. They've had so many people putting in for awards and stuff. They actually had to extend the deadline. I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, it says mid-June, so we'll see if they get through them by then.
Yeah, because I mean, they need to add me to the podcast list. I'm still not nominated.
Add David to the podcast.
It's crazy.
They're pretty good about responding.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many lists on there that I'll scroll through and be like, okay, wait, I have to start over.
Well, somebody, I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody told me like last year, I think everything was over at like 2 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, good God, I got to go to bed. I'm getting to be an old man.
I didn't get to go last year because I had a trip already planned to Europe, and that was too close to their award show in Nashville. And you know, I can only be in so many places and pay out so much money at a time.
Oh yeah. But I'd love to go to Europe. I just
I want to go back.
Yeah.
I spent 3 months out there.
Wow.
And granted, it was during the winter time, but the countries I was in are good for winter time. And so now I want to go back and be there during like spring or summer.
Yeah.
But I got to see the Northern Lights out in Finland 3 different times, and it was absolutely amazing.
Awesome. That's what I'd like to go see.
Yeah, it was the first time I saw it. I wasn't quite sure if I knew what I was looking at, because I was like, I think that's what I'm seeing, but I'm not sure. So they tell you to put your camera on night mode, and you can really see it because it gets super dark up there.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and all of a sudden you just see this green streak across the sky. And I stayed out there for quite a while, but it was really cold. And so I was about to go in, and I turned around, and all of a sudden I saw this big flash behind me. So I turned around, and like the entire sky was lit up blue and green, and it was amazing.
That would have been gorgeous.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. And of course my dog wanted to play with the reindeer, which
of course
I was like, no, you can't play with them. They're busy giving people sleigh rides. But she was wanting to go play with them. Yeah, I was like, really?
We've got a town here. It's called Hendersonville. And where they've put so many houses and all that stuff in over the years. It's like all the forest part that they turned into housing and everything. The deer stayed. So now everybody's got deer running through their neighborhoods and their yards and bedding down and all kinds of stuff. And it's neat to just actually drive through some of them neighborhoods and see all the deer.
Oh, that is neat. Poor deer, though. They're like, you guys moved into our home.
People feed them.
Oh, well, that's why they stay.
Well, I got a friend of mine that she's got deer that come in her backyard every night, and she's feeding them apples.
Well, I'm sure they love that.
Well, yeah, I'd love that.
They know where to go now. She's the neighborhood mom.
Oh, yeah. Playing with the deer.
But yeah, you should definitely go. I got a chance to spend 3 weeks out in Finland, and then I spent a couple more weeks in Poland, and then I went to Switzerland for a bit.
Well, I mean, when you go, bear in mind, I'll be more than happy to go with you. That way I can announce you're coming to the stage.
I want to go. I didn't get to spend, so I was in and out of Paris, and I didn't really get to stay and visit. Yeah. So I want to go back. I have a bucket list of countries. You have no idea. This is like, I'm going to go back and just make my way from Northern Europe or mid-Europe down, because it's going to take a while.
Yeah. It's I had last year on CMAs when I was doing the interviews there, we had Tyler Booth on, and he had just come back from Germany and all kinds of places over there. And he was telling me, kind of what he saw while he was there.
Yeah.
And the architecture is one of the big things with me. I love the older churches and the big buildings and all that stuff, how they designed them and built them way back in the 1800s.
Oh, yeah.
It just amazes me.
It is. It's absolutely amazing. You know what surprised me was that I wasn't sure about going to Poland, to be honest. I kind of went impromptu to Poland. It wasn't on my initial list.
Right.
But I'm glad I did because they have a lot of that really old architecture there.
Mm-hmm.
The downtown, I was in Dansk, and so it's right on the water. And the architecture in downtown is all really old style architecture. And they're known there for having like the world's largest supply of amber.
Yeah.
And so they have like museums related to amber, and they have a lot of like shops where you can buy things with amber in them. And they have a really famous fountain there. And just walking through that town square downtown was absolutely amazing. And everything is very inexpensive.
Did they still at least give you a discount because you was a visiting artist?
No.
That figures.
No, but to be fair, so when I was on my flight on the Swiss airline, the I don't want to call him a stewardess.
What in flight attendants?
Thank you. I'm like, what's the word? I can't think of it. So one of the flight attendants, he told me, you've got to go to this place for brunch in Dansk, and I was like, okay, and he said, you'll love it. And I was just like, well, I'll take his word because he's been there obviously multiple times. He was from I think Denmark. And so I went there, and it was like a fine dining restaurant. It was very beautiful inside, chandeliers and all this fancy stuff. And I had brunch, and the whole meal, like your food, coffee, juice, everything. And this is they don't expect you to tip. Okay, but I gave her a tip anyway, and the whole meal, including my tip, only costed me $14.
Wow.
And I had eggs Benedict with smoked salmon, and they put it on top of a waffle, and it comes with like a little salad, and $14. So I'm not gonna complain that I didn't get a discount. That was my discount.
I think in that moment I would have been that person that takes a picture of my food before I eat it.
I think I did, to be honest, because I normally don't do that either. But every once in a while, I'm like, this is a beautiful. I have to take a photo of it.
I got friends of mine. It's like, where they're at. They're getting something to eat or whatever, because every daggum other picture is a plate of food.
Do you have friends that are chefs?
No.
See, I do, and this is the problem. They're always posting photos of food they made.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, excuse me, we're friends. You actually know me, and we don't live that far. So where's mine?
Yeah, exactly. See, I always thought, though, if you had friends that were like chefs or fine dining chefs or something like that, you go over to their house for like, hey, come by, we'll grab something to eat. And you go over there and they got like McDonald's or something, I'm just like, dude.
Not my chef friends.
They actually
have ever seen. Yeah. Matter of fact, I had asked one of them, I said, hey, where's a good place to learn how to make fresh pasta? Because I wanted to learn how to make fresh pasta. Not that I would do it often, but it'd be fun to do it every so often.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know. I'm not from here. I said, well, neither am I. I mean, I've lived here a long time, but I'm not from here either. So I don't know. And he's like, well, I'll just teach you. So he's going to actually teach me how to make pasta.
What's weird, though, is I got on this new diet and everything, and I was researching a bunch of stuff. It's amazing to me And I actually heard this from a guy that's Italian, grew up in Italy. The difference in the pasta, the American made pasta and the Italian made pasta. You
Mhm.
can lose weight on Italian pasta. In America, you do nothing but gain weight. It's crazy.
I believe it. Because even while I was in Europe, so when I'm here, I have to eat a low carb, high protein diet. In Europe, it's a little trickier because certain countries, they're staple, and all you'll see everywhere is, something different. And so in
Yeah.
Finland, for example, it's rye bread
Yeah.
of all things. But so I was probably eating more carbohydrates over there than I would here, but I was never bloated.
Yeah.
I didn't gain any weight. I didn't feel like, all the things that I would feel off of food like that here, I didn't feel at all over there. I didn't have any digestive issues, nothing. And it was, I thought for sure I was going to gain weight, and I didn't. No, I was just like, oh, thank goodness.
Oh, yeah.
But I believe it. Yeah.
Well, that's what's weird because I got on that carnivore diet. And
where you only eat meat?
yeah, I'm 9 weeks on the carnivore diet. And when I started it, I weighed almost 250 pounds.
Wow.
I'm down to 210 now.
Congrats.
I am so happy.
That's exciting. I know.
Yep.
I lost 130 pounds doing the high protein, low carb.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's all that other crap.
It is. And they don't allow so many things over there that you can't even find certain products, or they look different. And things just even taste different over there compared to over here, and the fillers that we have in our food. It's fascinating to me.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it's one of the hardest things I thought I would have to stop doing was the beverages, the sodas and stuff. And you get to looking at the ingredients on a lot of this stuff, and everything is loaded up with high fructose corn syrup.
Yep. I haven't even had a soda since 2008.
Caitlin just held up a can of Dr. Pepper and pointed to the high fructose corn syrup.
I haven't had soda since 2018. So funny thing about soda, way back when, I used to work in healthcare, and I taught medical classes for 4 years to adults in technical college. And my whole class used to drink Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that was my big thing.
And then we did the section on nutrition, and like a month later, I looked around and I'm like, wow, no one's drinking Mountain Dew anymore.
Yeah. And the sad part about it is, if you like mixing bourbon or Jack Daniels or Jim Beam or something like that with a chaser, basically, but you can make a drink out of that, one of the best things to do it with is Mountain Dew.
I never drank Mountain Dew, so I don't know.
It's bad. It's bad.
I know it has a higher caffeine content than other sodas, and like but they've done those videos where you can like clean your toilet bowl with soda.
Oh yeah.
Well, and I'm just like, why would you drink that?
Well, I mean, if you look at your battery on your car, and there's like a lot of,
I've seen that
build up and all that around the battery post, you just pour a Coke on it and it just eats it right off.
Right, exactly. So I'm just, that's kind of scary if you think about it.
What's it doing to me?
Exactly. But yeah, gosh, I haven't had soda since 2018. Actually, it was earlier than that. I stopped soda before I started high protein, low carb diet. So it's been longer. I haven't had a soda in years, probably the last 10 years or so.
Oh, yeah. It's been right at 9 weeks for me. I haven't had a soda at all. It's just.
How do you feel about that?
I love it.
Yeah. You don't miss it once you're over it.
No, I mean, I feel better now than I have in a long, long time.
That makes up for not having it.
Yeah, I mean, because I go to bed at usually. Okay, I'm just going to round this out a little bit, but usually I try to be in bed by 7:30. But over the past couple of weeks with CMA and everything else that we got going on, it's been more like 9:30, 10. And I get up at 3:00 every morning to be.
Good Lord.
Well, I've got the day job at 4 a.m. So
I don't envy you.
yeah, I don't envy me either.
We won't talk about what time I go to bed.
2:00 in the morning.
Yesterday I did. During the week it's usually earlier, like around midnight.
Yeah. But see, that's what's weird though. I was born and raised all through my freaking life as a night owl.
Oh, really?
And then I got this job, which I got to be there at 4 a.m. and I get off at 1:30 p.m. And I used to come home as soon as I hit the house, I was taking a freaking nap.
I bet.
But since I got on the carnivore, I actually have energy to go the whole day and do things.
You know, I used to be a morning person because I worked almost 20 years in healthcare. So I used to get up early and, you know, I had to be at work at a certain time and worked till who knows when. And then, but then after I stopped working in healthcare and started kind of self-contracting and making my own schedule, and then I was doing some music stuff at night. When I started working during the day again, it took me several months to switch from a night schedule back to a day schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But I still haven't been entirely successful at it. So now instead of going to bed at 3 a.m., I go to bed at midnight, but I can't get up early either. So if I wake up on my own, it's somewhere around 8:30, but it's bizarre. So now I'm a mid-morning to late afternoon person, and then there has to be a nap after that, and then I can go the rest of the evening. My body's just like, no.
If you got a show and you got to go and you got to get mic'd in and everything else, and then you do the show, you get off whatever time you get through doing the show, and then time you get back home, it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I bet you got no problem going straight to sleep.
No, I usually don't. I mean, there's a little bit of a wind down period. I think everybody kind of needs at least 30 minutes but I'll get ready for bed, and I don't really have trouble falling asleep. That's not my issue. Yeah.
That's not mine either. Everybody I've ever
fall asleep, that's not a problem.
Everybody I've ever been intimate with or anything like that, that was their biggest complaint. You go to sleep in 5 minutes.
Yeah. And I'm not a cat nap person either. So if I say I'm taking a nap, I need at least an hour.
We ain't doing 15 minutes. No, it's going full range hour.
You know, I used to hate naps when I was a kid. My mom could never get me to take them. And now as an adult, I'm like every day, like I need a nap.
Oh yeah.
I need a nap. And then people will call me, and I put my phone on silent. People will call me. I'll wake up. I'll be like, I was taking a nap.
Yeah. Might as well just leave a voicemail. I'm leaving. I'm taking a nap. Call you back later.
That's what I say. I mean, if it's an anybody who's going to have an emergency already knows that I'm probably not going to get to them that fast. And like my family doesn't live in this state. So if something were to happen, it's not like I could be there right away anyway. So anything like that, I mean, it's still going to end up waiting till after my nap.
Oh, yeah. You got to.
You'll still be wherever you're at when I wake up.
Yeah, my favorite thing is he dead? Well, call me if anything changes. I'll be there as quick as I can. Might be a day or two, but you never know around here.
You never know around anywhere these days.
Caitlin, what in the hell are you doing?
Nothing.
You was way tucked down on the deck. Were you taking a nap? Were you trying to take a nap?
No, I wish. I'm exhausted.
See, this is what happens when people don't have to be on camera. They just they're messing around.
Well, Caitlin usually does a real good job on everything.
I always pay attention.
I give her crap every now and then.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure she does.
That's what we need to do. Have awards on the David Bradley show.
I feel like I had a friend ask me recently, because they're a local musician. They play in like several cover bands and whatnot, and he was just like, "Where do you keep finding all these award things?"
They're all over the country.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Every time I turn around, you're nominated for some award. Where are you finding all these award things?" And I'm like, the same way everyone else finds them. I pay attention.
Yeah, and it's called half of them are on Facebook, and the other half have got websites. So just look them up.
And I don't think anybody ever told me where anything was. I just started seeing stuff popping up, and I'm like, "Ooh, what's this?"
Oh yeah. Well, it's, I never thought about awards and stuff like that. And then a lot of friends and everybody were like, "Hey, did you put in for this?" No, didn't know they were doing that. "Oh, dude, you got to put in for that." And I'm like, "Okay, I reckon."
Yeah, it's a lot of research.
Yeah.
I'll go and poke around at the website and be like, "What is this? Does it cost money? What am I doing?" I still don't know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a number of years now. So if anybody has a clue, send them my way.
Exactly. Eric Morrow.
I'm just winging it out here. So.
Oh, yeah. Eric Morrow, a buddy of mine, just said hello to everyone. What's
Hi.
up?
I don't think I've met him.
No. He's
okay. I'm like, his name didn't sound familiar.
No, him and a buddy of mine actually kind of poked the bear a little bit and told me, "You need to do a podcast." So that's where the idea came from.
Well, I mean, it turned out to be a good idea, right?
I reckon that's what they said. So
people tell me I should do all kinds of things, and I'm like, okay, hold on. It's a little different, I think. People see me do a lot of stuff, and they think that I'm able to do a lot of stuff, and in a way that's a yes and no thing.
Yeah.
I'm autistic, so and I don't make any I'm pretty open about that. That's one of my platforms, is advocating for autistic adults. And
right.
And I'm like, "No, y'all don't understand. You think you have a hard time doing everything and don't have that much energy. Try being in this body." Like,
yeah.
Because when you're autistic, you have a million great ideas, and then you look at them and you go, "Yeah, I don't have energy for any of this."
Oh yeah, exactly. And
or this will require me to reach out to 10 different people, and I don't have the brain capacity for that right now. Like, it becomes a lot more complicated what I can and can't deal with. And it's not that I can't do it. It's just, it's going to take me longer. It's going to take me more steps. It's going to take me more brain processing than sometimes I am willing to handle, because the stress load can become a problem a lot faster.
Yeah. Well, Eric just said his son actually has Asperger's.
Well, technically, that's what my diagnosis was too, and then they decided to boot that name out, and now we're considered autistic level 1 or something like that.
What's with all the level stuff? Everybody's doing that. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it's the way the diagnostic criteria got changed, and so basically the levels are how providers and specialists and therapists and things like that can determine an autistic person's need levels.
Mm-hmm.
So like level 1, we usually need less support, we have less needs and support based stuff. Level 2 is kind of in the middle where they might need a little more help with certain things, but they can do other things still independently.
Yeah.
And then level 3 usually is they need the most help, where a lot of them will never live alone. A lot of them can't care for themselves, or they can't do a lot of basic functions like cooking and cleaning and, you know, taking care of their bodies and things of that nature. So the levels are more there for professionals or in knowing like what kind of support needs that person might have.
Yeah. Yeah, because I noticed over the years it was like, well, like cancer, for example, it's like level 1 up to stage 1 up to stage 4.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thought process, except our levels don't generally change because your autism doesn't really change.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just,
oh yeah,
you just get older, and you can change, and sometimes it might seem like you need more help at certain times than others, and that's just because of environmental factors most of the time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's a similar concept where it's different needs at different levels was the idea behind it. It's just the way they're doing the diagnostic criteria now.
Right.
I guess the more they discover, the more they want to keep moving things around. Meanwhile, we're over here just existing, you know.
Oh yeah. I feel like everybody has entered the David Bradley Show health talk.
As I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper.
With high fructose corn syrup.
It's literally like the first 2 ingredients are carbonated water and high fructose corn syrup.
Yep. Right off the bat.
Caramel.
Brown because they color it.
Yeah, the caramel color. Those are the top 3.
Where do they get the caramel color?
I don't know.
I don't want to know.
I just know it's tasty.
It's tasty.
I don't want to know. I remember the first time I tried tasting anything sweet like that after I gave up a lot of sugar and stuff, and oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how did I ever do this?
Yeah, because I was drinking, I know, at least 6 or 8 Mountain Dews a day.
Wow.
And then last year when we was doing CMA Fest, the CMA people had, you know, them little coolers with waters and drinks in it for us. Caitlin was laughing at me because I think I drank 8 Dr. Peppers during one show.
Goodness gracious.
It was crazy out there.
I bet.
Yeah, and then you said you felt wonderful.
I felt great. I felt awesome. Yeah.
Sugar crash.
I sugar crashed hard because
I bet you did.
Yeah, because well, after the shows, me and my team will go get something to eat and kind of decompress a little bit from doing the shows.
Oh, so then you ate and your sugar came down and you were probably ready for a nap.
I was out because I was bad. I was doing the bios and talking points on the artist for the next day, the night before, and I was falling asleep while trying to do them.
Oh, goodness.
There was a lot of shows I did last year that, I'm going to be honest, I didn't have a chance to research you or look up anything. So tell me about yourself. You know,
There wasn't
At
a
least
lot.
you were honest.
there was a few that I had to do that too.
Yeah,
but-
don't say a lot.
Okay, I'll go with a few.
I mean, at least you were honest. You know, it would have been worse if you would have pretended you knew what you were talking about.
That's what I've always tried to be, no matter what, because my daddy taught me from the time I was little. When you lie, it's hard to remember what you just lied about.
I'm a terrible liar.
If you tell the truth, then you never have to worry about what you said.
I'm a terrible liar. I'm not. First of all, I won't remember what I said. But also, just like, it's in my nature to just be so abundantly honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes bluntly so.
Yeah, I've been accused of that many a time.
Look, I get people mad at me without even trying. So I don't know how that works. So
I
I
think
don't
it's
even,
great.
when people ask me my opinion, I've started being like, do you really want my opinion, or are you looking for something in particular?
Yeah. My favorite saying that I say to people is, if you want to ask me a question, go ahead. Just make sure you're prepared for the answer, because
Mhm.
I'm not going to lie about it. I don't care what you ask me. I'm not going to lie about it.
Yep. Before you ask me, make sure that you're ready for an honest answer, because
Yep.
I won't lie to you about it.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah. And,
exactly
and,
right.
and that's usually where they get pissed off, because I'll ask a question and I'll answer it truthfully. And then they're like, no.
My friends like to think, well, no, they've learned already. They used to call out what they thought were bluffs,
Yeah.
and they learned very quickly, I don't bluff.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know how to bluff because I've never tried.
I pick. It's usually an honest pick. I'm just picking on them.
But people will think, I'll say something and be like, oh no, you really won't do that, or I'll ask a question if I can do something, and they'll be like, oh yeah, sure, and I'll do it, and they'll be like, what'd you do that for? I asked you if I could. What do you mean? Why?
Yeah. I thought you was kidding. Nope.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So I'm going to ask this question because a lot of people out there are probably curious as I'll get out. A lot of people stick with a genre, but you're sticking with more multi-genre. How did that come about?
Oh, well. So I grew up with most genres.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't one genre that was listened to more than another when I
Right.
was growing up. And what I didn't hear in my own house, I heard at my grandparents' house, because my youngest aunt was college age when I was kind of getting more into music as a child.
So she was the cool aunt.
So So she listened to all the genres that I didn't hear at home, which was like the rock. And, I learned about Def Leppard and Bon Jovi and Metallica and all that from her. And music was always something that I'd already loved from the beginning. Like I wouldn't even go to sleep unless they put me near a speaker or something. You could always find me in my room. I was that kid that would line up my toys and sing in the hairbrush.
Yeah.
And so, but at that age I was singing, and I was very young. I was singing everything from Madonna to Phyllis Hyman, the Commodores, Bee Gees. My mom loved disco and R&B and oldies, and so I heard everything, and in pretty equal amounts. The only person who ever listened to only one genre whenever possible was my dad, and he was pretty much forced to listen to everything else.
Yeah.
And so when I got into music, I didn't have a favorite genre.
Yeah.
I've never had a favorite genre because I've loved all kinds of music for so long that trying to choose a genre almost felt like trying to choose between parts of myself.
Yeah.
And, when I first got into music, I was told multiple times, like, well, it's harder to promote you if you don't pick a genre.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
It's harder to do this if you don't pick a genre. It's harder to do that if you don't pick a genre. And I'm like, well, if someone can't promote me because I'm not one specific genre, then they're not very good at their job.
Yeah.
That's the first point. But secondly, and I might say this multiple times only because it rings very true, is that I'm autistic. I can't do things the way everyone else does them.
Right.
And I found that out very quickly because I was trying to do what people were guiding me to do, and it wasn't working.
Right.
And so I said, you know what? Scrap all that. I'll figure it out.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of forged my own path. And I've always been fascinated by, can I take this over here and blend it with this over here? What would that look like?
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people that can't. There are plenty of people that do multiple genres. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to feel like, oh, well, she's saying bad things about me or these other people because we're this way. No, that's not it. So when I look at multi-genre artists, some of them are, are specific to certain genres. Like they'll do 2 genres.
Yeah.
And kind of blend those together, and that's their niche. Some artists will maybe do 2 genres and occasionally tinker over here. I've got like 4 or 5 genres.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where, and I don't know how to word this without sounding like a jerk, so I'm just going to word it how I can. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to be a jerk. This is kind of where things differ. Not all artists can be 4 or 5 genres.
Right.
It takes something really unique to do that.
Exactly.
But I've done it successfully. And music is subjective, and so I can sit here and say, "Oh, I'm successful," but how do you really determine that? Well, I've won awards for rock. I've won awards for alternative. I've won awards for hip hop and rap. I've won awards for pop. You tell me.
Yeah. See, that's what I find fascinating because I know a lot of country artists. I can't put an exact number on it, but I know some country artists. They don't even listen to country music. They listen to rock or heavy metal or classical.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild, but that's what they chose as a genre to write songs and get that message out, telling the story. That's what they liked about doing the country music, because they could actually tell a story with what they wrote.
Mm-hmm. And you can literally do that in any genre. It's just a matter of how you do it.
Yeah.
Some genres require you to tell the story in a different way than you might in another genre.
Oh yeah.
And so when I got into music, I purposely broke out as a rap artist first.
Well, yeah. A lot of people do.
Nobody expected it out of me.
Interesting though.
Because a lot of people had already heard me sing R&B, they heard me sing pop, and they thought, oh, well, that's what she's good at. And so I kind of held back on what my real skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I first broke out into music as a professional recording artist, my first songs were rap. And people were like, that's not you, no way. And they were like blown away because I had this secret card up my sleeve that no one knew about.
Right.
And I chose that moment to pull it out. But I'd been writing poetry since I was a kid, and rap is essentially poetry.
Yeah, basically.
Music to a rhythm. And so yeah, my producer, he likes that I push his limits a little bit. We push the envelope a lot. He knows that when I go in there, that basically expect anything, because I've pulled some stuff out and been like, I want to try this. And he's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yep. And I told him, I said, don't ever tell me what the rules are, because then I don't have to follow them.
Exactly.
So even my songwriting is not, I think that I'm saying I think because I've literally had no one tell me the rules, and I still say don't tell me. But I think from what I've gathered, the norm is usually a verse, a chorus, a verse, a chorus, a bridge, a chorus. And I've done songs where it's been like, I walked in one time and my producer says, let me get this straight. You have a verse, a chorus, a verse, a bridge, a chorus, a bridge, and another chorus. And I was like, something like that. He's like, only you would write a song that way.
Well, I mean, honestly, the only question I got on that is, why not?
That's what I say. I mean, if it fits.
It's if everybody broke down that you only had to do music a certain way and follow a certain pattern, then to me, it's not music. Music is from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that more beautiful.
I agree. And I will never be that person that does anything for a gimmick.
Yeah.
I'll probably never be I don't listen to the chatter so much.
Yeah.
So I think people have stopped telling me, "Oh, you should pick a genre." I haven't heard that in a while because I think I've pretty much made it clear I don't care.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I was on YouTube just browsing around and looking at some stuff, and I run across a couple of different people that were trained opera singers, or they were trained in some kind of like symphony type theater and stuff like that. But they had all this vocal training and all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing reviews of music and other singers and stuff on their show. And the one I found the most fascinating was they were reviewing Queensryche.
Oh,
with Jeff Tate.
that is fascinating.
And I was watching it and I was just like, y'all don't understand. Me personally, I think Jeff Tate was one of the best vocalists ever to come out in a band. And for them to be a progressive metal band was just fascinating to me. I was all into it. I was like, everything they ever put out, I owned it. And it was just, Queensryche was just like my top tier people. The music arrangements, the vocalizations, the power that man had with his vocals.
Oh, I know. I can't do progressive metal with my vocal cords.
Well, I mean, his range fascinated the crap out of me also, because it was like, where does it end? He just kept, it didn't matter. He could go low, he could go way up high.
Mm-hmm.
It blew me away.
Yeah, a lot of them do learn how to do that. The trick is learning how to do the high pitched scream range safely. And there are ways to do it safely, or else you really damage your vocal cords. And I just, that's probably one genre I would never touch. I mean, I like it, but I would probably never try to touch it myself. I know where my limits are right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like the first time I ever heard Alicia White Glues, I believe her name is. Is that her name? I can't remember. Anyway, it's Alicia White Glues. She does very beautiful vocals, but then she gets into that where they scream, basically, the gravel growl and all that crap, and she just does it flawlessly. I mean, it is just amazing to me.
Yeah, I actually did. So interesting that you bring up the gravel and growl. I did learn some vocal training techniques that they use, but I learned how to do those so that I could increase my lower range.
Right.
And it was really funny because, and this is something that's kind of a misconception, I think, in the music industry. A lot of professionals still have vocal coaches.
Yeah.
We may not use them all the time, but we have them.
Oh, yeah.
And so I remember going to someone I used as a vocal coach and saying, I want to gain lower register. And she was like, well, you're going to kind of be my guinea pig then, because everyone always comes to me and wants higher register, but that's not my problem. I'm a soprano. Right. So she's like, well, my fiance does rock music, heavy rock music, and he has to do a lot of the growling and the gravel and stuff like that. So she taught me the techniques, and I actually gained several notes lower by doing them. I still can't sing in that style, but I mean, it helped me just doing their vocal techniques to kind of get some lower range, which was kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I've got that no problem with the lower range.
Yeah, my voice lives in the attic, so don't ever ask me to sing anything like Tony Braxton. I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't either. I can't even do the drumming like Sheila E. used to do. So, I mean, I'm good. Oh, Lord. Well, girlfriend, we got to get off here. And I really appreciate the conversation. This was so much fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. And for anyone who said it was the health show, look, these health tips will help you fit in your award clothes. Stop complaining.
Oh, instead of letting it out, we're taking it in, people, taking it in.
That should be the title.
What?
The Health Show with Lady Miranda.
Yeah. There we go. Do we need to set you up a podcast? That way you can do the health show.
Oh, God. Are we talking about physical health or mental health? Because we might be here a long time.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's a long running show, so you won't have to worry about it. And with that, remember, eat right, eat healthy, and this will also help your vocal range, people. You never know. It's crazy. Well, girlfriend, tell everybody where they can find you.
Everywhere. But you know what? I'm going to give you my website, theonlyladymiranda.com. And you can literally find my music and my socials and everything else that I do on my website.
Awesome. Love it. Well, we really appreciate you being on, and we'll be in touch, and I'm going to keep track of you because I really like some of the stuff that you're doing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. Y'all check out Lady Miranda and at her website, and all of the links I believe she said was on her website. I'm going to put the website up on the YouTube and everything else, so y'all can go check her out. And remember, we are not doing any more shows until June 5th. We will be at CMA Fest 2025. I'm not going to tell you how many artists we got. Not telling nobody. I'm not even going to mention their name. But y'all tune in. This is something different, and we're going to do it. The show starts at 10 a.m. and runs till probably 5 p.m. And it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we are actually going to be running live from CMA Fest. We're not going to go per artist. We're running it live from the time we get everything set up. We're going to live stream. You're going to see me saying hi, and we're going to announce some, the sponsors that are helping us out with CMA Fest and
Stretch breaks.
You're going to see us stretching on camera. If a whole herd comes in and saying hi and stopping by and saying hi, you'll probably see that too, because we are coming down with the 3-camera setup and the biggest majority of the equipment that we have here in the studio. So I look forward to seeing everybody there. And I want to thank all the artists that have agreed to be on my show. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Some of them have got around 11 million followers, all the way down to the newer artists that are starting out that have 850 something thousand followers. I mean, it's just unreal, all these people. And I want to give a big shout out to CMA people. And this CMA Fest is possibly going to be the largest they've had in a long time. They've added stages. It's unreal, all the stuff that's going to be going on. So we hope to see you then. Me and Caitlin are getting off here because we got to start packing. Love you. Mean it. See you then. Bye.